We'll be starting. If you can take a seat. Good evening, Mustangs. Welcome to the highly anticipated USC Election Results Night, where the pulse of our university future will be revealed. So, I am Bhumit. I'm a third-year biology student here at Western, and one of your election governance officers for this election year, and honored to be your host for today evening. So tonight, we are not just observers, but active participants of this democratic heartbeat of our student body. Alongside me, sharing the stage will be our current USC executive team, our esteemed faculty presidents, and the election governance committee. So please enjoy the food provided, and I urge to please focus your attention on the information provided. And before we proceed any further, let's begin with a moment of reflection and respect, the land acknowledgement. So we acknowledge that Western University is situated on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lenape, and Chonnonton nations on lands connected with the London Township and Sombra Treaties of 1796 and the Dish with One Spoon Convent Wampum. With this, we respect the long-standing relationships the indigenous nations have to this land as our original caretakers. Western values the significant historical and contemporary contributions of local and regional First Nations and all of the original peoples of Turtle Island. The land continues to be home to diverse indigenous people whom we recognize as contemporary stewards of the land and vital contributors to our society. We acknowledge historical and ongoing injustice that indigenous people endure in Canada, and we accept responsibility as a public institution to contribute toward revealing and correcting miseducation, as well as renewing respectful relationship with indigenous communities through our teaching, research, and community service. As student leaders, it is our responsibility to continue to contribute positively toward decolonization and ensure that indigenous voices are centered during our decision making. We need to continue to educate ourselves and others about the impact of colonialism on indigenous people, not only in our history, but how it affects future generations. Colonialism is not a distant event. It's an ongoing structure embedded in every social institution, including universities. This acknowledgement is only one contribution of our own reconciliation, for what we do on this land is far more imperative. Okay. So there is so much ground to cover, and I can hardly wait to dive into all of this. So without further delay, please join me in welcoming our current USC Vice President of Communication and Public Affairs, Tamsung Long, for State of the USC.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tamsin. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm this year's Vice President of Communications and Public Affairs for the USC. Welcome to our annual State of the USC. I know many of you are eagerly awaiting the election results, and trust me, they're on their way. However, before we delve into the USC's future leadership, let's take a moment to reflect on this past year with our current team, celebrate our accomplishments, and look forward to what lies ahead. The State of the USC is a yearly event hosted by the communications team, offering our students an insider perspective on what we do, how it impacts you, and why it matters. Over the past 9 months, I've had the privilege of working with my executive team, and from the summer planning orientation to the fast-paced school year, it's been an adventure. In the summer, our executive team crafts the executive roadmap, our guiding document for the year, outlining priorities and reasons behind them. The roadmap is divided into 5 pillars: student advocacy, student support, student development and opportunity, and student engagement and collaboration, as well as student life. These pillars showcase the breadth of our responsibilities, from managing your bus pass to advocating student priorities to the government. This evening, like everything that we do, is for you, not just the USC. At its core, my job is to tell the USC story, and what truly makes a difference are the incredible people I get to work with. From the team of AVPs and coordinators to our hardworking interns, our kind and capable staff, and my fellow executives, everyone plays a crucial role in our successes. They all have their unique stories and ways of sharing them. Now, without further ado, let's welcome Maria Farouk, Vice President, University Affairs, to the stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maria Farouk. I'm your Vice President, University Affairs. And to recap my year, I thought there's no better way to be real with you guys than through B-Reels. So this year got really real. If you have no clue what my job is, no problem. I think I officially just learned it last week. My job is to be an advocate for you to university administration on academics, student experience, and of course, internal advocacy projects such as Free the Dot. So the student mental health paper last semester was one of the biggest wins for Western students. Not only was this paper unanimously passed, but it also began conversations on mental health on campus in a post-pandemic world. Advocating for online appointment bookings, ensuring dedicated recommendations for varsity athletes, and then shortening the paper to allow any student on campus to read it was a top priority for this paper. The UA portfolio this year had many academic wins, beginning with passing a stance on artificial intelligence on campus, advocating for your rights in the classroom to protect student intellectual property when using detection tools. Next, I know we love to drop SRAs, so this is what the USC has done for you this year. The VP UA position has joined a Senate working group on academic considerations and has started consulting faculty and students to make sure we re-implement our beloved SRAs. Lastly, over 3,500 students filled out the Fall Reading Week survey. And I'm excited to announce that at this point, the Senate Committee on Academic Policy no longer has this recommendation as a result of student feedback collected by USC. This year, for Free the Dot, we conducted surveys, created street-style videos, fun stickers. I handed in the funding report for Free the Dot and also submitted to the Western University budget. I can confidently say we are reaching to the end of what I consider successful advocacy for this initiative, and we're waiting to see how Western supports this initiative, as it's not a matter of if, but when. Every second counted when it came to being real on these topics, and engaging with students and getting them excited about advocacy. To name a few, exam kits, career summit, a VP academic roundtable. I would like to say thank you for being real with UA, and before I go, I have to take a Be Real. Thanks, guys. Up next, I would like to invite to stage the other half of my advocacy team, Vice President, External Affairs, Emily Poirier.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Poirier. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm your Vice President, External Affairs for 2023-2024. So that means I oversee the USC's relationships with the municipal, provincial, and federal government and advocate to decision makers on your behalf on issues ranging from student financial aid to transit, GBSV to housing, and beyond. I picked travel as my theme for my presentation for two reasons. One, for those of you who are familiar with the VPEA's work, you would know that I spend a lot of my time traveling all around the country with meetings with different stakeholders. And two, I also believe that time as an executive truly is a journey. And I am so excited to share some of the highlights of that journey with you here today. But I would be remiss to speak about everything we've been able to get done during this year without mentioning my lovely portfolio members. My AVP Anne and coordinators Michelle and Abby have done so much wonderful work this year, and I truly believe that I would not have been able to get as much done this year as I have without them. From boothing to briefs and everything in between, they help me do better work for you. Now, on to what this year looked like within external advocacy. After a long summer of planning, both within the USC and with our partner organizations, the academic year started off with an unexpected bang. In September, after hearing word during a city council meeting that the mayor would be meeting with Sean Fraser, the federal minister of Housing, Infrastructure, and Communities while he was in town, I decided to send him and his staff a cold email to try and meet with him as well. With housing being one of the biggest issues that we've been hearing from students this year, I knew we needed to bring these concerns to the highest levels possible. To my surprise, I heard back just 2 days later from his staff, and before I knew it, I was hosting a federal minister in the UCC solo, something the USC has never had the opportunity to do before. Our recommendations to the minister surrounded increasing access to funding for post-secondary institutions to build safe on-campus and off-campus housing to make sure students have access to affordable, safe, and accessible housing close to campus. 6 months later, just 2 weeks ago, one of these recommendations turned into government policy. Minister Fraser announced that the federal government was unlocking billions in funding for colleges and universities to build student housing. I am so happy to say that a key recommendation that I advocated on was put into place during my term, a pledge that many VPEAs never get to have due to the long-term nature of external advocacy. While I would never say it was the USC alone that got this done, I am proud to say that we were able to be another concurring voice in the conversation to push change. Advocacy is a team sport, and we were able to give an assist with our CASA and other larger coalitions scoring the goal. With October came the Ontario Undergraduate Student Alliance's Fall General Assembly, also known as GA, in Waterloo, hosted by the Laurier Students Union. This is where students from USA's 9 member schools from all across the province come together to review and debate the recommendations that USA brings to the provincial government. This is a great opportunity for students to get directly involved in the policy process, and it's how I first got involved with external advocacy 2 years ago. This time around, the topics up for discussion were student health and wellness, housing, transit, and community development, and rural and northern students. We spent 4 days discussing the issues that students were facing within all of these areas. It gave many of our delegates their first introduction to the process of adjusting policy recommendations for policies that affect all of our lives as students and Ontarians. It is always exciting to watch first-time delegates grow and become more comfortable throughout the week, proposing their own sets of principles, concerns, or recommendations, and fiercely defending their approaches and interests. In the government relations world, November is the month where folks hit hard on their advocacy ahead of a winter break and budgets in the spring. This meant that I spent most of November in Ottawa and Toronto for meetings and receptions with MPs, MPPs, ministers, staff, and other post-secondary stakeholders to talk about the issues that students are facing and push for policy solutions. This included Western's receptions for their provincial and federal advocacy days, USA's and CASA's federal advocacy weeks. I spoke with members of all major parties at the federal and provincial levels about the issues you care about, including housing, financial aid, international student working hours, mental health, and tuition. Getting to meet with stakeholders from across the country is an excellent reminder of the differences in approach and priorities that decision makers have. I certainly got my fair share of curveball questions and interesting and surprising angles and recommendations. In January, we focused our external advocacy closer to home. I had the opportunity to present the USC's budget recommendations to the provincial government ahead of Budget 2024 to the Legislature's Standing Committee on Financial and Economic Affairs. This included presenting to a committee of MPPs from all 3 major parties and fielding questions from them on committee floor. That means that the concerns that we heard from you on student financial aid, gender-based violence, and housing are all on the public record. We also had the opportunity to meet here on campus with Western alumna and Minister of Colleges and Universities, Jill Dunlop. This is an opportunity to discuss with her some of the most pressing issues for students and within universities, including a looming question of whether domestic tuition will be unfrozen in the next academic year. We had a productive discussion, and I look forward to continuing to work with the ministry on this issue. Finally, January is also our Municipal Advocacy Week and Municipal Budget Advocacy. We met with city councilors and staff alongside our colleagues from the Financial Students Union and affiliate college student councils about the concerns that our students have on housing, transit, and pedestrian safety in London, and urged the city to make investments in those areas in its multi-year budget. We are continuing that advocacy as the multi-year budget process continues, particularly to work into ensuring that transit is well-funded to improve service. And we still have many exciting things ahead. Over Reading Week, we will have Women in House, a program that brings 19 women and gender-diverse students to Queen's Park to shadow MPPs, receive professional development, and help support them in their journeys to be leaders. We have our USA Spring General Assembly at McMaster, where we'll debate policy recommendations on gender-based violence and prevention and response, racialized and religious students, and international students in international education. And we will be continuously working with City Hall throughout the budget process to ensure your concerns are reflected in the city budget, including through surveys, which you may have seen on our social media so far. So if you haven't done it already, fill that out. I am so incredibly grateful for the opportunity to represent students for the last 9 months, and I'm so excited to finish this year strong. Now, without further ado, I'd like to invite Bianca Gouveia to the stage to speak about the inaugural year of the Student Services Portfolio.
Hi, everybody. My name is Bianca, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am this year's Vice President, Student Services. This is the first year that Student Services has ever existed, and it has been a very eventful one. The creation of this role was the result of a growing need to pay attention to the services that the USC offers. In my role, I get to work with 10 amazing people, each leading a unique portfolio. We're a big team, and I love getting to work with so many brilliant people. A special shout out needs to be made for my Associate Vice President, Natalie, who has been truly a partner in all of my accomplishments that we've gotten to share this year. While I won't have time tonight to share all the impressive work that each leader has done so far, I need to take a moment to thank them for trusting me throughout the year and for leading all of their teams with immense grace and kindness. I'm so grateful for the work that they do, and I could have never expected that one of my favorite parts of the job has been getting to see all that they've accomplished. Now, on to a glimpse into what my year has looked like in numbers and what I've been able to accomplish not only with my team, but with all of the USC. Over 100,000 period products have been given out across campus to increase menstrual equity. In an effort to provide more menstrual equity, we created a hamper program, which was done in collaboration with faculties across campus. This was able to be initiated based off the advocacy done with Free the Dot, and we did this by filling different bathrooms with bins of period products. This could not have been done without the faculty councils who were the true leaders in this initiative. Although it was myself and my AVP who were filling the hampers each month, it was the members of faculties going into the washrooms and making sure that these bins stayed filled and that we could provide free period products for more people across campus. Over 1,400 food hampers have been given out to students to help combat food insecurity. This is equal to about 20 years of non-perishable food for one person. Food insecurity is an issue that is far too common across university campuses and is one that's often overlooked or considered part of the university experience, which is not true, nor should it be. My food support coordinator, Jenna, and the entire team has continuously blown me away with how they've held up food support when we've seen a 600% increase in usage from last year. Yeah. Not only have they filled hampers, but we've done food drives to bring in thousands of donations and ran fun events like the paint night and as well as our plant sale. Our Peer Support Center sees dozens of students every day coming in to enjoy the relaxing atmosphere, to study, and receive support from our highly trained volunteers. This year, I created the outdoor wellness space, complete with comfy chairs, picnic tables, and 71 plants that myself and our Vice President, External Affairs, Emily, planted all by ourselves. My peer support coordinator, Jessica, and every peer support volunteer are responsible for making it such an amazing and supportive space. Complete with a snack station, tons of spots to find some quiet and to study, it's truly a versatile space for Western students. As a previous peer support volunteer, seeing more and more people come into the center to relax or receive support has been a truly amazing experience. And if you haven't gone yet, please do check out UCC Room 40. Okay. Over 13,000 students have been impacted by the rebuild of our club system. Over the summer, I, along with my Associate Vice President, Natalie, and our advocacy and government services staff, did a complete rebuild of our club system. Being a part of and leading USC Club should be fun. You shouldn't feel confused about how to run your club or what guidelines you should follow. So we scrapped the old methods that just weren't working for clubs anymore and created something brand new. We did it so it's easier to understand, easier to be a part of, and just more fun to run. And with this, I was able to reduce the club ratification time by 6 months. And lastly, hundreds of cups have been diverted from landfill with the use of our reusable cup program at the Spoke. Over the summer, this is a program that I reinstated. It is something that had gone away during COVID, and I really wanted to bring this back. Keeping a sustainable lens is extremely important to all of the projects that I've gotten the chance to do this year. And so it was really great to bring it back. And now, if you bring in a reusable cup, you also get to save 25 cents on a coffee, iced coffee, or tea. So if you did not know that, definitely start bringing in a reusable cup. Now, this is just a small glimpse into what my year has looked like, but I hope you're all able to learn a little bit more about what Student Services has become. And I would like to thank you for your support and also for the opportunity to get to serve the undergraduate student community this year. Thank you. And now I have the immense privilege of getting to introduce this year's Vice President of Orientation and Programming, Meredith McFarland.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Meredith McFarland. My pronouns are she, her, and I am your VP Orientation and Programming. I have had an amazing year from running your O Week to bringing NAV, and hope you guys have too. Tonight, I will be going back to my roots with a Dance Mom pyramid. I would elaborate, but as Abby Lee Miller once said, my success rate speaks for itself. First up, on the bottom of the pyramid, we have our annual Beer Fest. I loved this event, but it happens every year. However, I will take credit for the Oktoberfest theme that we had, complete with sausages, pretzels, and of course, beer. We also invited the beloved Western student band Tower Lane to perform, and they rocked the house. This gave our pyramid the strong base it needs for the rest of the year. Next on the pyramid, we have Vintage on Campus. Pulling a page from Sunday's platform and partnering with Dugout Vintage was legendary. We had an amazing turnout, but I definitely spent way too much money there. Now, this one may seem weird that it's on the bottom, but that may just be a testament to how many amazing things we accomplished this year. Purple Week was inspired by all the students who had to miss out on their orientation week due to, trigger warning, COVID. We pulled a lot of things off this week, from puppy yoga to a hypnotist show to the man himself, Nav, that you guys sold out in a matter of minutes. If you were one of the lucky ones, then feel free to thank me on Sunday after. Next here on the pyramid, we have craft nights. I was very proud of this idea because coming into this role, one of my priorities was to provide diverse programming. You guys sold out these craft nights in less than a day, and from punch needling to hand building clay, this was a classic slay. Next up, we have Battle of the Bands. This program was really special to me, as it was the first idea I had coming into the role. We had 4 amazing student bands compete for the title, and it was so successful that we're even planning one for this semester. So if you know somebody in a band, let them know. Finally, on top of my pyramid, going 5 for 5, is Orientation Week. This program is so special to me, and it's actually the reason why I applied for this role. From the color of the wristbands to T-Pain, there's me in the week. Now, before I go, I want to thank all of the students who helped make this year so amazing. So to my Associate Vice President, Claire, to my many coordinators who ran their own amazing programming, to all the SOFs who volunteered their time, and to all of you who came out to events this year, thank you. None of this would be possible without you. Love, your VPOP. It is now my pleasure to welcome my best friend and your VP Communications and Public Affairs to the stage, Tamsin Long.
Hi again. I just want to take a moment to kind of talk about one of the most rewarding aspects of my role, which is the chance to share the USC story. Each day, I witness the remarkable services we provide, the incredible students that are shaping our community, and the impactful advocacy work that we undertake. So, tonight I'd like to take you through a brief journey through some of my favorite chapters of the USC. Now let's jump into our first chapter, USC Voice, our brand journalism program. This initiative serves as a platform to showcase the diverse individuals behind the USC, putting student voices at the forefront of telling their stories. It's more than just narratives. It's a space where students can share their journeys, connect with each other, and foster a robust sense of community. This year alone, we've seen the publication of 5 new stories, each more insightful than the last. Chapter 2, the London Pride Parade. Picture the vibrant atmosphere of the London Pride Parade, where the USC proudly walked alongside fellow students and community partners from Western. This experience wasn't just about ticking off a box on my bucket list. It's a profound moment of the USC showing up for LGBTQ2S+ students, fostering community building, understanding the power of presence, and celebrating the unique talents of our student performers. Moving on to a pivotal chapter in the USC story, our collaboration with various news outlets like CBC and the Gazette. We work tirelessly to ensure people understand what we do and why we do it. For each media piece that we do, we spend time crafting the perfect narrative that both accurately shares our story and amplifies student voices. This chapter aims to connect the USC to the student and the broader London community. We were dispersed across campus, posing open-ended questions about the USC to see how students know us. We also handed out $2,000 worth of free bagels and countless amazing goose stickers. It was all about meeting students where they are, sparking meaningful conversation, and capturing moments with our beloved goose, of course, and giving back to our student community in a fun and kind of unforgettable way. It's hosting the Bridging Communities. The show reaches audiences all over London, creating opportunities for students to engage with different forms of media and showcasing the incredible talent we have within our community. It's also just like undeniably cool. And now, introducing another chapter of the USC story, Goose Talks. You might be familiar with the interview-based series where the USC asks Westerns a variety of questions. From probing discussions on campus culture to trending topics, Goose Talks aims to entertain, inform, and engage students in a dynamic way. So, if you see some people walking around with a USC microphone asking some strange questions, don't hesitate to jump in and be a part of the fun. Now, before I move on, I want to acknowledge that none of this would be possible without the dedication and hard work of my amazing student team of coordinators and my AVP. Muskan, Monsi, Sophie, Sarah, Isha, your creativity, passion, and tireless efforts have brought together each chapter of the USC story to life, shaping our initiatives into impactful student experiences. So thank you. So these 6 chapters exemplify the richness and diversity of the USC story. From parades and pop-ups to radio shows and media collaborations, each chapter is a testament to our unwavering commitment to students, community building, and advocacy. So as we continue to script new chapters, I extend an invitation to each and every one of you. Join us, engage with us, and be an integral part of the ever-evolving USC story. Thank you, and here's to many more chapters. Up next is USC President Sunday Ajak.
Okay. Now, for those of you who have ever had the chance to hear me speak, I think you guys know I like to walk around a bit. I like to talk. And if there's one thing that I've always shared many, many times that I've had a chance to speak in front of a group of people, is how much I value gratitude. You've heard a lot here today, the power of a team. You heard a lot of the amazing things that me and my team have done. Now, before I begin, I want to take this one opportunity now, before I say anything in front of you here today, to say that everything that you have seen, Everything that I will tell you here today has been done by the power of my amazing team. Five vice presidents. It's a small team, but they pack a really big punch. No, I mean literally, they punched me a few times, but that's okay. Now, if there's one thing I always say, when it comes to life, most people know what, some people know how, but almost no one knows why. Let me stop right there. I feel like I lost a few of you guys. So let me draw this all the way back here for a second. When many people think of a dream or something they want to achieve, the life they want to live, the impact that they want to have on campus, what is the very first thing that people normally think of? Better yet, from the moment that you step foot on campus to the moment that you walk across the stage at convocation, what is the one question that you are asked almost every single day? What do you want to do when you're done? Now, for many, this question is very easy. But remember what I said, ladies and gentlemen. Most people know what, some people know how, but almost no one knows why. Now, you're probably wondering, what does it have to do with anything, Sunday? What are you even talking about? Well, let me tell you a little bit about my why. Perhaps instead of me standing here and simply telling you all the great things that we've got a chance to do this year, let me deviate for a second. Remember when I said many people know what? Some people know how, and almost no one knows why. Well, at USC, we're no stranger to that notion. Most of you know what we do. Some of you know how we do it. Now, how many of you know why we do it? So indulge me if you will. And let me tell you a story. 2 years ago, I walked into campaign school and met full-time staff Jeff and Carla, two people I've grown incredibly close with. I'm bright-eyed, full of ideas. I always knew what I wanted to run for. I always knew I wanted to run for president. And this was the day the work actually started. A few months later, the race began. This was where I told everyone what dream I had, what I wanted to do for the USC. And in my opinion, campaigning is the best and the worst time of your life. I mean, wouldn't you agree, candidates? Yeah, I know. Now, if you ask me, I think we should do something a little like this. Now, I imagine that wouldn't go well. I imagine that wouldn't really go well with the Gazette article, but that's okay. In simple terms, I wanted to do three things. I wanted to lead, I wanted to support, I wanted to advocate. I wanted to lead a vision, a campus where we're all connected. I wanted to support those who typically go unseen by the USC. And I wanted to advocate, to bring together the collective voices of Western students and push the ball further, even if it be an inch. Armed with a vision, I set down a path to learn. There are 100 things to learn when leading an organization like this, and almost none of it happens the way that you think it does. It's late nights, early mornings, building, growing, and eventually, I was ready to take on the organization. Ready to take my why and make it real. But before that, it's time to build a team, to share the collective visions, and to entrust my why onto 5 people who I spend way too much time with. Now, as the months went on, and I was lost in a whirlwind of student politics and increasing anticipation, I had to take a second to remind myself. I want students to come back to campus, the campus that I promised them. So I made for damn sure that with the help of my amazing EPs, we did exactly that. Mental health coverage was increased from $700 to $1,500. The club's ratification system, as Bianca mentioned, was sped up from 6 months to half of that. And now clubs can become ratified in a 6-month window. I designated 4 rooms within the UCC that can now be utilized as designated stand spaces, which is much more than the 1 space that I originally campaigned on. Eating disorder sensitivity training was provided to every single SOF by a specialist, Colo Grande, a small advocacy effort of mine that has now been adopted by the administration, and her training will be ongoing for years to come. But let's not forget about peer support. As Bianca mentioned, I supported her in her executing that very large vision for this amazing service. The rebrand space has been phenomenal. Lastly, back to clubs. We tore down, and as Bianca mentioned, rebuilt the entire club's policy manual. Now, all of this done before students came back to campus. Now, you may be wondering, why prioritize these things? Why do it first? Well, if you ask me, it's a simple answer. I wanted to lead, to support, to advocate. It's no surprise that the club system was and is near and dear to my heart. I spent my entire time here on campus within it. It was my responsibility to support that community that helped me in ways that I cannot imagine. My time as a SOF taught me that the importance of that training, so I wanted to support that as well. Now, when you look at the improvements and you ask, well, why did the USC do this for us? You could tell them it was a part of Sunday's why. I kicked off first semester with a literal kick. And I'm not afraid to say that I confidently missed, but that doesn't matter because I went further than Ethan Gardner. A week is simultaneously the best and worst time of the year. Stress is at an all-time high, but it is so much fun. Welcoming an incoming class and looking across the sea of W's was a surreal experience, and nothing will ever top that moment. The moment a first-year student, funny enough, came to me during O Week and told me she chose to come to Western because of a TikTok and a guy called Mr. Mosby telling them to go to campus. Now, if you ask me, I don't know if that's the best way you choose your post-secondary institution, but nevertheless, the power of TikTok, right? Now, moments like that really bring you way back down the center. They make you remember what it is that gives you fuel, what it is that makes people believe in you, believe in the USC. But it's not just the good moments that bring you to center. It's also the challenging times, the times when students are stressed, when they are afraid, when they are looking for direction. And even in those moments, there is nothing more powerful than sticking to your why. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you that if you stick to your why, even while the weight of the world is seemingly on your shoulders, when the pressure is coming down from every angle and you feel like all the people can do is criticize you, your why keeps you grounded. Your why will keep you moving. And I see my slides was not updated. It's okay, it gives you guys something to laugh at. Now, my why brought you the following. I introduced the Executive Shadow Program, naturally gifted person. We introduced Purple Week, not to be confused with Purple Fest. Purple Week was an initiative to give upper year students a chance to enjoy the O-Week events that they unfortunately missed in their first year, bringing big names like T-Pain and Nav to campus. Now, for the fashion icons out there, we also brought vintage to campus. I'm no stranger to a good fit check, and I also love affordable clothing. Now, sustainability is also an important factor. Working alongside Bianca, we were able to introduce the reusable cup program. In collaboration with students, we were also able to bring a waste sorting page to the USC Now app. However, none of this could have been possible without the work of the students that you elect. Having gone through what I argue is the hardest student election process there is, with the highest stakes possible, I wanted to make the process easier, better, remove all the barriers letting a student become your next president. One thing that was important to me was breaking the perceived USC bubble, and I'm confidently now able to say that bubble has been broken. Can it be improved? 100% it can. But maybe now, with a better election process, you can make the changes that you want to see. So when it comes to life, most people know what, some people know how, and almost no one knows why. And for my year, my why evolved into not just supporting, but also leading. AJAC continues to look to students to tell him the type of president he should be. But it's concerning that he doesn't always have a stable vision. What is leadership to you? Can you measure it? Is it a gift? Are you born with it? Is it something that grows? Now, if you ask me, leadership is learning. Leadership is collaboration. Leadership is work. Leadership is the one thing that you can never let anyone judge you for. Leadership is walking down the path when everyone may be against you and choosing to fight for what you believe in. When the people closest to you may not be supporting you. When the people writing are questioning things about you. Leadership is having the courage to keep moving forward. AJAC continues to look to students to tell him the type of president he should be. You're damn right I do. If it was students who told me that they wanted to see the USC support entrepreneurship, and now I have created the USC's first partnership with the Morissette Institute for Entrepreneurship that allows students to accelerate their business within the resources of the USC. It was students who told me that they wanted to feel appreciated for the hard work that they did. So I created the first ever Club President's Appreciation Dinner that hosted over 70 club presidents this past week. Now, how's that for a vision? A vision that came from students, for students. And speaking of working for students, let's talk about advocacy. Advocacy involves a lot of talking to ministers, to Western alumni who now work in government. But all in all, it involves taking the torch from one, running as fast as you can, and handing it to the other. And when you take a look at this year in full, adding in all the work that each and every one of these vice presidents, myself included, had a bit more of my why, and what it is, and why it is that I do what I do, and why I do it so well. So I encourage you all, there's one thing that you take from my speech here tonight, is to discover your why. Let that lead you, let that guide you, and to everyone who has the privilege to face these positions moving forward, take your why and show it to the world. Thank you.
One last thank you for Sunday, your 2023-2024 USC President. So, what's next? Each one of you joining us tonight holds a valuable place within the USC. Your presence here demonstrates that you care and that you have the skills and you're eager to contribute. Your student experience more than qualifies you to be a part of the USC. As you prepare to meet our elected representatives shortly, there's a wealth of opportunities waiting for you. Consider the role of Associate Vice President, where you can collaborate directly with your new VPs to bring your ideas to fruition. Or you might explore becoming a coordinator, taking the lead on a portfolio within the USC that resonates with your passions. There's also the option of becoming a musician to nurture your skills and creativity. So, with that in mind, keep an eye out for upcoming job postings and mark your calendars for a job fair in March. Believe me when I say that there's a place for everyone within the USC, and our organization owes so much of its success to our student leaders. Now, Mustangs, it's time for a brief intermission. I encourage you to take a 15-minute break, grab some refreshments. The bar will be closed. This bar will be closed after the break. And then when we reconvene, we'll delve straight into the moment we've all been waiting for, which is the USC election results.
Welcome back, Mustangs. I trust everyone enjoyed their break and is ready for the next chapter of our exciting evening. But before moving forward, we'll be having some voter information. So we'll be delving into some voter information about VP result, the referendum, the voter turnouts. So first of all, the upcoming VP elections. So as you see, the VP, the state of USC, the VP University Affairs and External Affairs, the nominations form are out, and the deadline is tomorrow. And the voting period will be on February 29, and the results for that will be out on March 1. So if you want to be part of that portfolios, do apply. The nominations are still open. Now, moving forward, as I mentioned, I'm part of EGC, and Peter Bratick, our current Chief Returning Officer, he couldn't make it today, but he really wants to, and I have a message that I will be reading on his behalf. So, as Chief Returning Officer, I wish to thank everyone for being here and showing an interest in USC elections. I apologize that I was unable to attend this amazing event with all of you, but I had to undergo a minor and routine medical procedure earlier today. In any event, you are in great hands with Bhumit. And I recognize Bhumit is likely uncomfortable reading praise of himself, but I do not apologize for speaking highly of him. This year was an interesting election year. We worked on deregulating many aspects of elections. That was so that voters could focus on the substance of campaigns rather than distracted by the EGC policing minor and technical things that were of no importance to voters. As we saw the results this year, with very few violation submissions. And as of today, no candidate was found to have violated the election rules. Whereas contrast to last year, with over 100 violation submissions and many very minor being reported in the Gazette, so candidates get to spend their time what they should be doing, campaigning. Additionally, we also applied feedback from previous years and prioritized open communication with candidates. The Election Governance Committee had a target response time of same-day responses, with every effort made to respond within 4 to 6 hours. And we are proud to say we accomplished that task, and we only failed to meet those targets in very complex cases. Additionally, I want to thank the USC for investing in the elections department. We went from the entire elections riding on the shoulders of 2 people, plus some volunteers, to this year having a team consisting of 5 paid student employees. Things ran very smoothly with these additional resources. On that note, I wish to thank Deputy Returning Officer Jumana Elses and Election Governance Officers Bhumit Gupta, Cole Demers, and Raha Afkar Nemti. This election would have not gone nearly as smoothly without them. I couldn't have asked for a better team. We truly function like a well-oiled machine and serve the candidates and the voters well. I also wish to thank our amazing support team from the USC, Melissa, Geoff Pimlet, Rebecca Berrio, Usman Ahmed, Tatnia Gordon, and their respective teams. A lot of work goes into elections. As a former student association executive, I know how student associations operate. And I can truly say I am beyond impressed with how well the USC operates. Candidates, I have been in your shoes before. I know how grueling it is. Regardless of the result tonight, be proud of you, that you put your name forward and get through the election. The vast majority of people do not have the courage to do what you did. Yet you did it. So thank you for your commitment to the election process. Finally, to all of you who voted, thank you. USC elections are important, and you should engage with those who represent you. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Thank you so much. So now we'll be moving for the general election voter turnout. For this election, we see 8,388 students voted, which is 21.6% of the electors. Thank you so much, everyone who voted in this USC elections. And moving forward, the USC put on a referendum to join the Canadian Alliance of Student Association CASA membership. The referendum did not pass, Thank you again to everyone who voted. Now, moving further into the evening, continuing the same excitement, it's time to turn our attention to the most awaited moment of the evening you all have been waiting for, the announcement of the results of the USC Winter Elections 2024. So first and foremost, we'll begin with the announcement of the newly elected senators and the member of Board of Governors. So I have a request to the candidates. So when you see your name is being announced, please make your way from the right of the stage to up the stage, and you will have a photo. So please just follow the protocol whenever you see your name. So now we'll be moving forward, first of all, with the Board of Governors. For Board of Governor, your next Board of Governor representative is Catalina Cat Henricus. Now, moving forward for the student senators. So if you hear your name, all come together to the stage. So for your next student senators are Ava Kemimura, Jana Beercroft, Olivia Matthews, Angela Liu, Brooklyn Bag, Jana Ijam, Noah Zebian, Alexandra Ayapong, Angelique Cook, Sydney Burrow, Sophia Bahadur, Ethan Di Costa, Aliyah Joku, and Catalina Henricus. Thank you to all those who ran, and congratulations to the winners. Now we'll be moving forward to share the Faculty Council election result. So results for all the positions will be shared by each current faculty president. Again, following the same newly elected councillors and president, please make your way to the stage to take a group photo before moving to the next faculty. So moving up, first up, Art and Humanities. Please welcome to the stage the current Art and Humanities councillor, Anika.
And your next Arts and Humanities President and Counselor are Margaret Gleed and Asha Sa'a. Please welcome Henry Rothstein to announce FIMS.
Great. Your Faculty of Information and Media Studies president for next year is Sophia Ratanchi. And your counselor is Chichi Sharma. Next up, Pranitha Raj, president of Health Studies.
Hi, everyone. So your next health studies president and counselors are Elena Pampaloni and Melissa Evigliano.
Next up, we will have Sanjana Jones from Health Science.
Hi, everyone. And your next health science president is George Triantafilakis. Please welcome Armand Bawa to announce the kinesiology president and counselor.
Hi, everyone. And your next kinesiology president is Grace Gall and counselor Angela Teodoroscu. Thank you. Please welcome Olivia Conway to announce nursing.
The next nursing president and USC counselor for nursing is Steve Shaw and Jane Yang. Next up is Eric Fong for music.
Good evening, everyone. Your next music president and counselor are Mia Haug and Chantel Bennett. Please welcome Sophia Oslis to announce social science.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to take 10 seconds to thank my team. Good evening, Western. I am Sophia Oslis, and I'm so honored to be your president, Social Sci. This has been a fantastic year, and before I announce the new leaders of the biggest, baddest, and most beautiful faculty on campus, I want to thank my team. To my executives, Isha, Daniel, Reagan, Shrey, and Kat, this has been the most This has been the most fantastic team, and your dedication to improving the lives of students every day is something I deeply admire. To every single member of our 72-person team, thank you so much. I would name you, but there's no time, and the pride that I feel every time we host an event, are successful with our advocacy, and get student feedback is incredible. Without further ado, these are your next president and social science counselors. Chloe Vanderloo, Tessa Smith,
Liam Solomon, Essie Thompson, Ryan Joshua Malabanon, Austin Wang, Richard Lee, and Ethan Dreischner. And Anya Sarma to welcome science.
Hi, everyone. So I'm going to be announcing the next Science Council president. So without further ado, it's Marisha Seraphim. And the next science counselors are Jenny Jam, Hussein Jean, Noah Matsakao, Virginia Johnson Steves, Camille Lesko, Parsa Sadedian, and Vishnu Shripati. Good job, guys.
Okay. Huge congratulations to all the winner, and thank you to everyone who ran. And now for the big reveal of the day, the one you have been waiting for. I see 3 faces. We'll do it soon. So guys, well, join me in welcoming Sunday Ajak to reveal the new USC president 24-25.
I don't know why I'm nervous like I just ran, but I didn't. Okay, I don't know where I should do this. I'm going to do this here. Okay. Before I call out the name that you guys have all been waiting for, I just want to take a chance to say to the candidates, you guys have run amazing campaigns. It takes so much to put yourself on that ballot. No one will understand what it takes to do that like you guys. So big congratulations to yourselves. Big, big, big congratulations. All right. And your next USC president is Emily Kalajian.
Hi. This is truly such a privilege and an honor, and I'm so grateful to be up here. I'm sorry, I'm so emotional, but one of the big sayings that my parents always told me growing up is that it takes a village. And you'll see the people who are on this side and the rest of Western and everywhere, you know, coming from Science Council, coming from Windsor, all my friends back home, my family, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. It all takes a village, and I was so lucky that I came to Western and I found my village here. Like, what an amazing, amazing opportunity. I think there's one thing and a couple people that I want to thank. Callista Ryan, you might not know me, but I watched you, and I watched your election, and I remember that. Nika, you were the person that got me here. I watched your election, and I thought, maybe I could do this too, and this one's for you, 100%. In a year that Brescia is integrating into Western, an all-women's college, this is such an honor and a privilege to be able to do this. And my sticker's falling off. They're all over the school, by the way. I'm at a loss for words, and I think every single day when I come to the school, I'm reinvigorated with passion, and that's why I came here and I wanted to fill this role. So thank you, everybody, for putting your faith into me. I'm so excited for this year ahead, and I can't even conceptualize what's going on right now, but I'm so grateful. And, you know, anybody who thinks that you can do this and, you know, you're worried and you're stressed, you can do it. You can do it. I want to thank Adam. You are so genuine and authentic. We had a conversation there. You're fantastic. Keep doing that because you're going to go far. Dorian, your team, your marketing team, killer. But you as a person, anybody can come up to you, and where you're going to end up with the best law school hopefully possible, they're lucky to have you. Thank you for an amazing campaign. Thank you for a respectful campaign. Thank you to the EGC. Thank you to the USC. Thank you to my incredible campaign team, Wade, Macy, Joey, Vanessa, you know, all of these people, they're awesome, and I can't believe this is happening again. So thank you for the opportunity, and I can't wait for what this year has to bring.
Congratulations, Emily. And now we have reached to the end of the night. So first and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you by gracing us with your presence today here. Means a lot. Your commitment to the process is commendable, and your presence here tonight speaks volume about your investment in the future of our university. While tonight marks the conclusion of this electoral journey, it also signifies the beginning of a new chapter in the USC story. Our university thrives on the active involvement of its members, and I encourage each and every one of you to explore the ways you can contribute to the vibrancy of this community. The USC is more than just an organization. It's a collective effort to create an environment where every voice is heard, valued, and celebrated. In the spirit of fostering greater involvement, I'm delighted to announce the upcoming event that serves as a gateway to numerous opportunities, our USC Job Fair on March 14. The event will provide a platform for you to learn more about USC diverse roles and responsibilities, discover avenues that suits you for your professional and personal growth, and connect with the like-minded individuals who share your passion for making a positive impact. Once again, thank you for your presence tonight, active participation in this electoral process, and your dedication to the USC. Thank you, and have a fantastic rest of your night.